There we go. It's fine.
Okay.
It's going.
Well, we're audible now.
Yeah, the fun story is that the mic was on. Like, we could see it on.
Yeah,
It just...
on our end, it looked like everything was working just fine. So, apparently I have to repeat myself on quite a bit. So, first and foremost, if you guys haven't been to the channel Discord, you absolutely need to go and look at the image sharing page, because I lovingly elected to share my birthday present with all of you, even though I got it 2 days early yesterday, of the lovely new installation to my wall of Sunday stream meme art in my office of my beautiful yellow raincoat and the wall art of the peaceful mountain lion of the stupid lighthouse temple. Complete with secret crab techniques and pristinely folded shirts and an apple pie on fire in an oven. Beautiful work bio. Genuinely, chef's kiss. Excellent. No notes. Which is becoming part of, oddly, one of the most unique versions of my birthday traditions, which is that apparently my birthday present from Inu is now a bio-crafted image recap of basically the past year's worth of streams, which...
That's one way to think of it. The other is it's just bio and I trolling you.
Which, honestly, either way, I'm kind of fucking fine with. Like, but it's been an interesting couple days. The other thing you guys are going to need to know is that there are two possibilities for things that happen to me over the course of stream. I suppose three. The third option is I just stay fine. But every year, the universe is a douchebag, and I get sick for my birthday. So, I am currently on a ridiculous amount of cold meds to keep my throat from being scratchy and myself from coughing constantly. So, what you guys may have happen is either me passing out because a lot of the side effects on the plethora of cold medicine I took were drowsiness, or about halfway through stream when the drugs start wearing off, I'll be coughing and or losing my voice. So that'll be fun. Happy birthday, me. But that's catching you guys back up on... listen, maybe the fog will help me figure out Golden Man. Because I have been hyper fixated on Golden Man all week. And the extent of what I've been able to the point of distraction, to the extent to which all I've figured out about him is that he's working with the priest up at the church that you guys all dislike. I figured that out. Asked Inu about that, had that confirmed. No, I have no fucking clue who he is. And the hyperfixating on it over the course of the week has not helped at all. So, the the thing is that, like, I don't know who he is, and that's gonna be tough. And Mar, I don't think Inu owns a soup or the materials with which to make soup. So no.
Well, I mean, I have water and I have some slices of cheese, so I could make floating cheese soup, which is...
But it's not as good without hot dogs.
I've got some leftover sausage. That's kind of like a hot dog.
Similar, but different flavor profiles.
Also, it's not like American. It's not like, craft singles or anything.
Yeah, no, it's probably like actual proper cheese.
Colby Jack, yeah.
But you could presumably still cut it to look like fish. Which is a whole load of statements you and I have just made that aren't going to make sense to anyone. Let's see. Honestly, I would love somebody to make me soup, but let me rephrase. I would love someone not named Eden to make me soup because my brother would poison me by accident.
I've got some water. I've got some Old Bay. That'd make something that's like a colored broth, and then we could stick like some cashews in there, maybe. Those are fruit, so you have like a fruit soup.
I mean, technically speaking, fruit soups do exist, but the fruit in question is usually watermelon, not
No,
cashew.
I don't have any watermelon. I have cashew, so you could have cashew soup with water and Old Bay.
No, thank you. I think I'll pass.
I guess I could use cinnamon to color the water. Cinnamon and cashew.
Oh yes, the liquid cinnamon challenge.
Yeah, as you do.
Because if my cold doesn't kill me, my brother might as well.
Yeah, it's how you do.
That's how that works, right? All right. So, like I said, you're all at risk of absolutely loopy Willow today. So that'll be fun for everybody not named Willow. It's a good thing I don't go back and routinely rewatch our content. Mostly because the sound of my own voice drives me absolutely fucking mental. But
You should probably watch your own content even less then.
oh, I don't. I literally don't go back and watch my content once I've created it. And half the time when I'm recording, I forget I'm recording and don't say much. So I suppose I probably could go back and rewatch my content because it's mostly just going to be game audio or me messing around in Adobe Acrobat documents. But, for my recreating video games and video game characters in tabletop RPGs series, which I still haven't actually made any of those videos public yet. They're all still sitting on private.
I don't think she did, Bio.
What? What didn't I do? Prior message about actually having something to show you this week, by the way. No, I did not. Let's see. Let me look at all of the things. Let's see. Bio said, worth wholly pointing out to Mar that Inu didn't ask you to do anything for Willow's birthday this time.
No, this is farther back than that.
Okay. I may not have any more Artorias to share, but I do actually have something to show you this week. Okay, let me swap back over to Discord. Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm going to be even less attentive to shit than usual this week. Kitties! Look at all the little floofies. Oh, look at the tortie.
Looks like a cat to me more than a tortoise, but you say so.
Says he whose cat description is orange. Okay, let's see. To make up for the raincoat. Oh my gosh! Look at them! Two of my favorite Pokemon. Look. They're so cute.
That's not a Mimikyu.
It is not a Mimikyu. It's better than a Mimikyu. It's a Vulpix.
That's not possible. There's nothing better than a Mimikyu. It's the best Pokemon.
The best Pokemon are Vulpixes and the Galarian Ponyta.
Incorrect.
Not the Rapidash. The Rapidash is not anywhere near as pretty, but the Ponyta's gorgeous.
Incorrect. It's a Mimikyu. Mimikyu is the best Pokemon.
Also, Luxray. Luxray's just badass.
But not a Mimikyu, so...
Yeah, listen, not everything needs to be a Mimikyu, Inu.
It does, though. We could have, like, 1,008 Pokemon and all of them be Mimikyu. We could have, like, starter, grass, water, and fire Mimikyus. We could have, like, the legendary Mimikyu.
Now listen, if we were doing that, it would just have to be really shittily woven costume makeup impersonations of all the other Pokemon.
Exactly, it'd be great.
Yeah, but then you'd take away the thing about Mimikyu that makes Mimikyu special, which is that Mimikyu just wants to be Pikachu.
Yeah, but now it just wants to be everything else, too.
Although, truthfully, an Eevee-based Mimikyu would be pretty freaking perfect because, you know, Eevee's also arguably the best Pokemon. Don't you? No, no, no,
it's
no,
still
no, no, no,
Mimikyu.
no, 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 no,
Yes,
no.
yes.
Pokemon Let's Go Eevee was the perfect game.
No, Pokemon Let's Go Mimikyu would be the perfect game, I think you'll find.
Oh, why is there a message in chat that's in, I'm assuming, Japanese? That doesn't help. Okay. Let's see. Ilya's unconscious.
Yes, she fainted, but her face is peaceful, so she has a peaceful face.
Why did Ilya faint?
Because Blondie said some words and then she, like, had a panic attack or something.
ほら、よそ見しない。包帯がずれるじゃない。
Yeah, Ilya passed out because Goldman was too cool. I feel a hand slap my back.
父さんがお前怪我人になんてことしや
Yes,
がるんだ
always abuse the injured. Says the social worker. Oh dear God. I have no filter. This is not gonna go well for me. Oh no.
うるさい。人がせっかく手当てしてあげてるんだから、少しはおとなしくしてなさいっての。ほら、右手あげて。もう必要ないとは思うけど、一応こっちにも薬塗っとくから。
Ouch. Here, give me your hand. I don't think you actually need it or know how to make use of it, but give it here.
冷たいってそれ
Yeah, sure got
触
stabbed
覚
with a
があるって
knife.
ことは平気な証拠よ。
He took a knife to the
See what I
spine.
Yeah, because somehow the correct choice was go stand over Saber and get stabbed by Castor instead.
Oh yeah, it meant Saber didn't get turned into a homicidal lunatic.
Yeah, but then Castor might have lived. Except from the sound of what you've said, Castor kind of gets massively screwed over in pretty much every arc of the game, which is a shame.
She gets to, like,
But, you
actually do more stuff in UBW. Like, UBW is kind of her best route. I mean, it's also the best route, just in general, but... She wraps the bandage around my right shoulder with surprising skill. It's past 10. After our battle with Castor, Tosaka began treating my wounds as soon as we got back to the living room. Well, she started, but most of my wounds had already healed, so now she's just fussing.
はい、おしまい。にしても、ほんとでたらめな体ね。それだけの治癒能力を持ってるのは吸血鬼ぐらいのものよ。
I joke about her saying, about her implying vampires are real, but I'm certain.
Tsukihime.
Yeah.
あ
The
なた
entire premise of that game is vampires.
Yeah, kind of figured that they had to exist somewhere.
I think she said something similar before.
あのな俺はまっとうな人間だよ
I don't believe that at all.
俺だってどうしてこんななのか知らないんだから聞かれたってわかるもんか
So what even is going on with your body? I just said I don't know.
冗談。まっとうな人間が脊髄切られてピンシャンしてるかっていうのよ。
Shiro.
便利だからあえて追求しなかったけど、いい加減不気味になってきたわ。もしかしてあんた、首を切られない限り死なない土地の出だったりしない？
Okay, that wouldn't be him being a vampire. That'd be him being a zombie.
Or, Green, what you need to understand is that people die if they're killed. Shiro just hasn't been killed yet.
He's been killed many times, Inu. He just hasn't remembered them. We've just time pulled a bunch.
scary thing here is that Tosaka is serious. One of these days, she might actually try for my neck with an axe.
ね、セイバーだってそう思うでしょ。原因はセイバーだとは思うんだけど、それにしたって不死身すぎるっていうか。
Except for all the, like, 13 times we've died so far.
は、シローの治癒能力はシローのものではないのですか？
No, she's saying it doesn't make sense.
そんなわけないじゃない。強化の一つ覚えのシローがそんな高等技術をマスターしてると思う？こいつのデタラメぶりは間違いなくあなたとつながってるからよ。セイバーの自己回復能力がそのままシローに流れてるんじゃない？
そうなのでしょうか。今までそのようなつながりは感じませんでしたが、それならば今も私の魔力はシローに流れていなければおかしいですし、第一私の自然治癒。
セイバー、どうしたの？いきなり青ざめた顔しちゃって。
Saber.exe has stopped functioning.
Saber stares off into space, apparently not even hearing Tosaka.
まさかそんなはずは。
Saber shakes her head and looks down. Tosaka and I exchange looks. Saber's acting weird.
Than usual.
Actually, I know why. Ever since that Golden Knight appeared, Saber's been pretty down.
まあ、シローのことは保留にしておきましょう。それよりセイバー、あなたさっきのやつと顔見知りだったの？あの金ピカ、セイバーが自分のものだとか言ってたけど。
Saber doesn't answer. She obviously doesn't want to talk about it. But I still want to know. Tosaka's asking the questions I want answers to.
セイバー、知っているなら教えてくれ。さっきのあいつは何だったんだ？
はい、認めたくはありませんが、私は彼を知っています。ですがそれはありえない。サーバントは7人だけです。彼が召喚されるはずがない。
Which raises some ethical questions because either Priest demands some like giga powerful mage to have been able to sustain him for so long, or that he and or whoever Blondie is have been somehow getting away with mass murder for a decade? That doesn't seem right.
サーバント？やっぱりあいつサーバントなのか？
Huh?
Says a lot that after all the shit Artoria has lived through in her original life, the thing she least wants to talk about is anything that happened in the Fourth Grail War. Especially the tentacles.
I'm confuzzled.
I confuzzled.
Well, my phone vibrated and said I had a message from Bio that, at least initially, looked like it was all rectangles, and now it's not there.
I don't think Nasu wrote 0. Wasn't that Ur Butcher? I kinda thought that was Ur Butcher's brainchild. That was from a while ago. Apparently.
Yeah, well, my phone just alerted me to it, and I can't even see it. So, okay. Well, that's fine then.
Well, okay, so it's pretty obvious that, you know, That could be a real problem for us, though.
彼のクラスはアーチャーです。もちろんリンが契約したアーチャーとは全く別の英霊で、その能力も英雄としての気質もあまりに違いますが。
I can tell. I only saw him briefly, but it was more than enough to get a sense of what a monster he is.
ちょっと待って、おかしいわよそれ。あいつがアーチャーのサーバントならそれで8人目よ。
Good, you can count. Well done, Reen.
一つの期間で召喚できるサーバントは7人が限度のはずでしょ。数が減ったから補充するなんてことは絶対にない。
Oh, look at Reen over here, speaking as an authority on a thing she only knows about from books. Again. What do you know, Reen?
I mean, she, as you yourself have put it to me before, she's right. She's always right until she isn't.
Yeah, exactly. Reen, you of all people at this point should have caught on to the fact that the rules don't mean shit.
なら8人目はどうしたって呼び出す。待った。セイバー、あなた前回の戦いであいつと出会ったの？
その通りです、リン。前回の聖杯戦争における最後の一日。
Look who was at the Sea of
私は彼と
Fire.
戦った。
Yeah, Goldie.
Sure. But also vindication for Willow because Artoria was there. Yay!
Well, of course, Saber has made it to the final two in every Grail War. Like, the Saber-class servant has always been in the final two. Which means Goldie's the other one that was in the final two.
Well, I'd kind of figured that much out already anyway.
For a moment, my entire body tenses. Saber fought in a sea of fire?
This screenshot again.
Well, that's nothing new. I already heard from Kodamine that the fire was caused by the Holy Grail War. So it shouldn't be a surprise. I've been trying not to think about it all this time.
Ketchaku? あなた、あいつをきちんと倒したの？
倒してはいません。いいえ、倒すことはできなかった。なぜなら私は
逆にあいつに任された。今回とは違う。きちんと召喚されて敵なしだったあなたが勝てなかった相手ね。
Saber hangs her head but doesn't answer. Reen, think about the fact that Goldman is still here, and then think about how stupid it is to ask if Artoria beat him. Did you win? He's still here, Reen. Oh, right. And that's answer enough.
Saber が勝てなかった?
Yeah, even like a full strength, not nerfed into the floor Saber couldn't handle that man. Not this imperfect Saber hobbled by my weakness, but Saber with nothing holding her back? Is that even possible? If you consider her expressly in terms of her strength as a swordsman, Saber isn't invincible. I mean, Kojiro proved that. She was weaker than Berserker. She got beat by just a guy in a straight 1v1. But Saber has her Noble Phantasm. The other servants' Noble Phantasms are powerful, sure, but Saber's exceeds them all.
I'm not sure that's accurate.
It's hard to believe there could be a hero in this world that her sacred sword can't defeat.
それじゃあ決まりよ。あいつ、今回の戦いで呼ばれたサーバントじゃなくて、前回からそのまま残ったサーバントなんじゃない？そうでなければ辻褄が合わないもの。
My mind stops working.
I'm sorry, your mind worked at any point ever?
Shiro.exe has stopped working. It's not that I agree with Osaka's assessment. But she's just described what I've been hoping could be possible since yesterday.
ですがそれは
ですがも何もないわ。それ以外に説明がつかないんだから。一度の聖杯戦争で呼び出せるのは7人だけ。それ以外のサーバントがいるとしたら、それは前回生き残った勝者だけじゃなくて？
These are the winners who survived the previous war. Which is also, unless, you know, he's a hero from the same time period as Artoria, which I don't think he is the explanation for how he still knows who Saber is. Because presumably the second that she eventually kills him, he stops being obsessed with her? Question mark?
Well, maybe wouldn't stop being obsessed. Like, there's a very strong possibility that a future materialization would still just decide that he wanted her anyways, but he wouldn't have
But at least
the
that's
context of the
hyperfixation.
previous Growl War at that point, yes. In terms of raw power, Shiro isn't actually wrong to say that Excalibur is one of the strongest NPs flat out. It's just that actually being able to use its full power... Yeah, you know, when you're not, like, trying to nuke the entire city, for instance. There's a heavy silence. Yet! Why does Tosaka look so pleased?
父さん、何が嬉しいんだよ、お前。
Because my dad summoned the last archer.
I don't know if she knows that.
当然じゃない。だって前例がいてくれたのよ。あいつが何者か知らないけど、要するに前回の戦いで最後まで勝ち残ったサーバントなんでしょ。ならあいつは聖杯を手に入れたのよ。でその恩恵でずっと世界に残ってる。つまり聖杯さえ手に入れればサーバントを世界に留めておけるっていう見本じゃない。あいつをとっ捕まえて詳しい
Like to
話を聞きたい
capture
ぐらいよ。
Ow! How precisely do you... Like, yes, you're absolutely right, Tosaka. Let's just capture him. I don't know who the heck that guy is, but he's a servant, and he's remained in this world since the previous war. Which means there's a way for Saber to do the same.
とまあ、あいつが何者で何が目的かは不明だけど、倒すべき敵には変わりなさそうね。セイバー、それであいつの正体は何なの？
それがわからないのです。前回の戦いでも私は最後まで彼の正
Literally
体を
turned
つかめなかった。
Caster into Swiss cheese ring.
あ
Actual
の
fuck
英
you
雄に
mean
はシ
capture
ンボルと
him.
なる宝具が存在しなかった。
シンボルとなる宝具が存在しない。そんなバカな話があるもんか。宝具がないサーバントなんてサーバントじゃないだろ。
Tell that to Kojiro. He was just a
何より
guy.
あいつはさっき
そうよ、さっき山ほど使ってたじゃない。あれだけあれば正体を探るなんて造作もないでしょ。宝具の形状から該当する英雄を探せばいいんだから。
Alright, time for Lore Master Shiro to go off.
では聞きますが、リンは先ほどの宝具に一つでも見覚えはありましたか？
そんなの当然じゃない。
Osaka thinks hard for a moment. She folds her arms over her chest, frowning. And then just tilts her head in confusion.
嘘。そんなはずない。
どうした父さん。何が嘘なんだ。
信じられない。あの血に濡れてたのは多分ダイスレフで、鎌っぽいのはハルペイよね。 なんか中華っぽいやつもあったし、お不動産のあれもあったような。
She looks a bit like she's tumbling down a rabbit hole.
あれなんかセーバーの剣に似てたけど別物のはずよ。ああいう素朴なデザインは北欧っぽかったし、そういえば大抵の魔剣の原型って北欧だって話だけど。
She's even starting to grind her teeth.
おい遠坂
Leaving her to her own devices will do more harm than good. If I don't stop her right now, we'll wind up paying the price later. Especially me.
遠坂いいから戻ってこい。
ああ、もう黙っててよシロ。あんたがちゃちゃ入れるから頭が混乱してきたじゃない。
By the way, in case you haven't noticed, Reen at some point stopped referring to him as Emiya and has just started calling him Shiro now.
Yep.
She became very familiar at some point. Meanwhile, he's still calling her Tosaka.
いやチャチャを入れるつもりはない。あいつの宝具のことだろ。形状だけで言うならダインスレフト、ハルペ、デュランダルにバジュラにカラドボルグ、あとゲイボルクもあったか。
Oh yeah, Gabe Bullock was in there too, by the way. So that means he must be Q! Wait.
No.
Alright then, Reen, let me ask this.
But-
Do you remember any of the hundreds of noble phantoms we fired out? Of course I don't. That would be impossible.
The confirmation that Gabolg was in there does play into
He could
a
be.
theory I have.
He could be Fergus McCroche. True story.
So, one of the many theories
Also, Alan Bulg.
I've had.
He has
over-
Edward's sword.
I know.
The salad
saw.
bowl. He
The
has
salad
it.
bowl is back.
The return of the salad bowl.
Um.
He could be Vishnu. Very true. Yeah.
So, one of my working theories for identity of Goldilocks isn't really a theory of the who, but the where in the timeline. In that the best theory I have about the fact that he seems to be able to use the noble phantasms of other heroic spirits is that he's somehow like the first heroic spirit, which for whatever reason, because plot gives him access to other things. But that seems contrived even by this series' standards, so probably not, but that's where Overthinky Willow is right now.
See, the thing about not being
中
able
華っ
to
ぽかったの
summon
はさす
gods,
がにわからないけど、
like Efka
有
does
名
it
ど
all
ころ
the
は
time.
そんなものじゃ
So.
なかったか。
Well, but isn't the canon status of Efko real spotty at best?
It's the Fate franchise and the Nasu, the greater Nasu verse basically operate on multi-world timelines. So it's like differing parallel timelines that all split off and stuff. So one of the things that's been said repeatedly across various Fate media is that everything is basically canon. It's not all canon to each other. Like, the events of Stay Night are not canon to Grand Order, for instance. And neither is anything in the Moon Cell, except the Moon Cell did happen, but it was probably like a different Moon Cell than the Moon Cell that we know from the extra games, etc. It's easier to just not worry about the Fate timeline in general.
I do think it's entertaining that chat's also just telling me not to think too hard about things.
Yeah. I don't love that face she's making. It leaves me feeling even worse. I don't know much, but I just blurted out what leaped into my head.
けどそれってどういうことよ。そんなデタラメな数の宝具を持ってる英雄なんていないわ。いえ、そもそも出典がごちゃ混ぜでもう何が何だか。
He's cheating, obviously.
ええ、ですから
His
私も
noble phantasm is
彼の正体はわからな
cheat
かった。
code.
英雄の証となる宝具をあの男は湯水のように持っているのです。あまりにも数がありすぎるためアーチャーの正体を絞り込むことはできなかった。
I would love if he iced a Lancer with Lancer's own noble phantasm, though. That would be kind of awesome.
The two look perplexed.
I'm all for a second Archer v Lancer fight, where Archer just ices Lancer with Lancer's own noble phantasm.
I'm still the rules are written, the more likely they are to all be bullshit. Yeah. Well, with so many noble phantasms, we have no hope of determining who he is. It's like hiding a leaf in a forest. Or, you know, the forest in the trees.
Shiro, あんたなんかないの?
Osaka, obviously annoyed, glares at me, expecting... I'm not sure what? She's just taking her frustration out on me, I guess.
なんかないのってなんだよ。
だから気づいたこととか推理とか、とにかく瞬間的なひらめきよ。
He's probably an archer. Ace detective.
私たちに必要なものは意外性のある意見なの。行き詰まった事態を解決するのは偶然だけなんだから。
She may be right.
なるほど。お前、俺のことバカにしてるだろ。
失礼ね。戦力外だと思ってるだけよ。で、どうなの?
お手上げ。
I raise my hands up in surrender. This is my surrender hand. Hands above my head, waving wildly like a wacky waving inflatable arm dude. Osaka groans. He did have Durandal, so it's probably Hector, yeah, that would track.
となると結論は一つね。セガ、あいつが使ってた宝具はみんな偽物だと思わない? そうでもなければ説明がつかないでしょ?
同意見です。
I think we're ignoring the obvious but improbable, so probably correct assumption that instead of all of his noble phantasms being fakes, he just has all of them. I think that, unfortunately, is probably the correct answer, because it feels correct, and it's stupid as all hell, so it's probably right.
いや、あれ偽物じゃないぞ。
Shira's like, nah man, those were legit.
I hate that for once I fucking agree with Shiro. Curse you, game! Listen, Fire. I don't know how he has all of them. Unless, again, there's Growl shenanigans.
Maybe he just
Which-
went to like NPs R Us and bought them all.
At the NP store,
Yeah.
at the local Noble Phantasm
Yeah,
store.
the local Noble Phantasm shop. You just go down to your local like NP IKEA and buy all the NPs
I
we
mean,
want?
I'd argue that maybe what he'd used the Grail for at the end of the last war was to wish to give himself all the noble phantasms. The fact that Saber's saying she couldn't identify him because of all of his different noble phantasms in the last war means that's definitely not how he got all of the noble phantasms.
It's so funny how Shira's baffled that these two don't already know everything there is to know about the hundreds of weapons they saw for seconds. Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, well, listen, their selected specialized arcana isn't sword.
How did I figure that out? Besides, fake noble phantasms wouldn't have harmed Caster.
ふーん。エミヤ君、その根拠は？
Oh, he outsmarts you, so he's Emiya again.
Right?
だからあれは本物だって。むしろ他のが偽物っぽい。
はい
や、あくまで直感なんだ。うまく説明できないんだけど、あれは全部本物だぞ。ランサーの持ってるゲイボルクはもちろん本物だけど、さっきのやつが使った槍もゲイボルクの本物だと思う。
What? Her making that face isn't explaining this any easier. It doesn't help that I have no idea how I know this. I just know all of his noble phantasms are real. I can feel it. Maybe it's because I used projection during our battle against Berserker?
How is there logic in that, Shiro? Which, of course, probably means that this is in fact the correct answer, but...
Fake noble phantasm Earth caster. And you're basing that off of what exactly, Shiro? Yeah, you know... After seeing all those noble phantasms, I can tell they're all real.
Because you're such an expert after having viewed, what, a grand total of... what, 4?
Gatebolg, Excalibur, Bellerophon, Godhand, Caliburn, kind of Tsubame Gaish.
I know.
So, like, Caster's one that has still not been named. So, like, 7-ish, 6 to 7 total.
So, my point being, in all of this, that you've seen, at max, a total of 7, and some of those were tenuous at best. There are hundreds, presumably, of heroic spirits. You can't make a generalization to say you know that all of those noble phantasms you saw were real based off a very select number of them.
A great weapon is imbued with specific concepts, while imitations lack something. I learned that much when I replicated Saber's sword. In that regard, I think all of the noble phantasms that servant had were perfect.
まあ、シローの発言はとりあえず置いておいて。
Let's just disregard Shiro for a
あい
sec.
つの正体がわからない以上、次は目的なんだけど。
Tosaka sneaks a glance at Saber.
あいつも聖杯を狙ってるのは当然として、気になる点がもう一つあるのよね。セイバー、はっきり聞いていいかしら。
Why does she always have that mischievous look when it comes to topics like this?
それはどういう意味でしょうか、リン。尋ねたいことがあるのならば、遠慮することはありませんが。
なら聞くけど、セイバーはあいつをどう思ってるの？あいつの言いぶりからすると、どうもセイバーにお熱のようだったけど。
I'm not following Tosaka's lead, but I also sneak a glance toward Saber. I don't think Tosaka has it wrong. He seemed obsessed with her. Actually, it's beyond being obsessed. From the very beginning, he only saw Saber as his possession.
彼が何を考えているかなど、私の知るところではありません。ですが、前回の戦いの折、求婚された覚えはあります。
I sort of
無論、
Excalibur
剣
blasted
と
his
共に切って
ring.
捨てましたが。
I'm not sure somehow the only one of us here who has any idea what the hell just happened, but I'm mad that he knows something I don't, so let's ignore him entirely. Propose? You mean that kind of proposal? What the heck is that servant thinking? How dare!
この場合喜ぶべきか微妙だけど、それなりに悪い気はしないんじゃない？サーバントになってからも求愛されるなんて女冥利に尽きるってもんじゃない。
そのようなことはありません。もとより私にそんな自由はない。私の正直あのようなざれ言は勘に触ります。
そう？セイバーはそうでもあいつはかなりご執心だったじゃない。あの手のタイプはね、相手が断っても一向に答えないんだから。セイバーも頑固だし、いっそああいうやつの方がお似合いかもよ。
Osaka being irresponsible, so I'm not sure why she looks so amused. Tosaka looked Tosaka looked like she's happy to have a conversation like this with Saber, even though Saber seemed disinterested.
ですからそのようなことに関心はないと言っているでしょう。彼は確かに優れた英霊ですが、私とは考え方が違いすぎる。
Saber's responses are at least sincere. Osaka looked like she got a happy. Don't worry, everybody got a happy.
だってさシロ、セイバーは男なんて関心がないんだって。安心した？
リン、今のはシローには関係のない話だと思います。今の発言はどこかおかしい。
でしょうね。今のは私の失言だったわ。けど何がおかしいのかって、おかしいことがおかしいわけ。
Osaka laughs menacingly. Fear me, for I am Tosaka.
Fear me, the servant my daddy summoned is trying to murder us all. Well, everyone not named Saber.
Her eyes make it clear she's laughing at me as much as at Saber. I don't know what's pissing me off, but I get up without a word.
あれ？ちょっとどこ行くのよシロ。
お茶、喉が渇いたから。ついでだから人数分入れてくる。
I huff and head towards the kitchen. I don't know why, but I'm just irritated, so I decide to make super bitter tea for Tosaka.
That is just being irresponsible and cruel. Shiro. Burning tea leaves and serving her super bitter swill is completely uncalled for. I don't care how cruel someone is to you. You serve them a goddamn good cup of tea. Fire. No. The only time we refer to a brewed or steeped hot liquid is something other than its actual name is coffee, otherwise known as bitter bean juice. You leave my tea alone.
I mean, look, steamed leaf juice is fine. Gets the job done.
No. You take that back.
No. Make tea stop just being, you know, steamed leaf juice, and I'll be good to go. Where are you going? Project some pipes in the
それ
shed.
じゃあとりあえず部屋に戻るわ。込み入った話は明日イリアが起きてからにしましょう。
Yeah, Ilia's unconscious.
Yep, she's just laid out on a futon. After teasing Saber for a good while, Tosaka gulps down her bitter tea and gets up.
ああ、さっさと寝ちまえ。間違っても戻ってくるなよ。
はいはい。それじゃああとはよろしくね。
That was awfully rude, Shiro.
I don't know why she's so amused, but Tosaka's mood seems good even as she turns back to the outbuilding.
シロはどうするのです？
Gonna go project some
傷が
pipes
癒
in
えた
the
と言って
shed.
も無理は禁物ですから、今夜は休むべきではないでしょうか。
ああ、そのつもりだ。けど、もう少しイリアを見ている。
Creepy.
問題がないようだったら和室に移して、そしたら寝るよ。
そうですか。それではそれまで私も付き添います。
And that's where our conversation ends. Tosaka was the one making all the noise, so it's gotten awkward now that it's quiet. Well, not that it's awkward. I'm anxious because there's so many questions rattling around in my head and so many things I want to say. Come to think of it, I haven't really been able to talk to Saber about the Holy Grail, about her not being dead, about how even if she gets the Grail, there's no salvation for her. There's no need to explain why. She still doesn't have a wish for herself.
セイバー、さっきの話なんだが。
Our eyes meet. Hers tell me that she knows what I want to say.
はい。何でしょうか、シロ。
By the way, where did you get that set of clothes? That was ostensibly Reen only had the one left, and you turned it into armor before. Where'd you get that? She tries to divert what I have to say with her quiet tone. But I have to talk to her.
だからさっきの話だ。遠坂も言っていたけど、聖杯を手に入れればサーバントはこっちに残れるんだろ？なら、
いいえ、私は残るつもりはありません。聖杯を手に入れれば元の私に戻るだけです。
それで王の選定をやり直すっていうのか。死にかけた自分を救わずに初めからやり直すのか。
はい。国を守るのは王の責務です。私の力が及ばなかったのですから、せめてふさわしい王を選び直さなければなりません。
She says this like she's talking about a stranger. For some reason, I get real mad.
このバカ！いい加減目を覚ませ！王の責務なんて関係ない。セイバーはこうしてここにいるんだから、あとは自分のやりたいことだけやってればいいんだ。
And what I want to do is my duty as king.
Well, yeah, but when he says he wants her to do what she wants to do, what he means is he wants her to do what he wants her to do what he thinks she should do, not what she actually wants to do.
By he wants her to do what she wants to do, he means that he wants her to do what he wants her to want to do.
セイバーは強いんだろう。ならさっさと戦いを終わらせて
How
聖
am
杯
I
を手に入れ
sick?
てサーバン
I
となっ
get
て
sick
やめればいい。
every year just before my birthday, and then have to spend my birthday either on a ridiculous amount of meds or asleep.
So you just need to stop hanging out with children around your birthday. That's the problem.
No, I think I just need to stop aging. I think I'm genuinely allergic to getting older. And that my body shuts down for a couple days every year in protest of aging.
願い事があるなら昔に戻ってやり直しなんかするな。自分を変えたいんなら昔じゃなくて今から取り戻す方法を取れってんだ。
Saber doesn't answer. She sighs.
シロ、しつこいです。その話はもうやめてほしい。
She rejects what I said outright.
それに聖杯があればこの時代に残れるというわけでもありません。
No, that is verifiably false, Kevin. The implication is that I'm not getting, that I'm not aging, I'm just getting wiser. No, I'm not. I work with children, my brain's clouded with the brain rot. In the past year, the only things I've really and truly gained knowledge of are the terms Ohio, Riz, and Skibbity. So, and Alpha, and Sigma. Literally, my brain's just brain rot. That's all I've accumulated in the past year.
Not to mention Beta, Gamma, and Delta. Hey, it's gotta be at least better than Baby
アー
Shark.
チャ
That
ー、あ
is
のサーバ
true.
ントは聖杯を手に入れたから残っているわけではない。なぜなら前回の戦いで聖杯を得られるはずがないのですから。
Ah, see? Archer didn't get the Grail. Saber said so.
The fact that I can read that entire sentence is really upsetting, Fungi.
Saber, それはどういう。
ないものは手に入れようがないでしょう。あの日町が炎に包まれた時聖杯は破壊されたのです。私を裏切ったマスターエミやキリツグによって。
Huh? The edges of my vision go dark. I nearly fall backward, but catch myself with both hands.
エミやキリツグだって。
Yeah, funny story. I was summoned in the same shed twice in a row. Weird, right?
はい、10年前前回の聖杯戦争における私のマスターは彼でした。私とキリツグは最後まで勝ち残り聖杯はキリツグの手に渡った。アーチャーとそのマスターはまだ残っていましたから、あとは彼らを倒すだけで聖杯戦争は終了するはずだった。ですがキリツグは聖杯を捨てたのです。その結果町は火に包まれました。
It turns out Kiritsugu did the fire.
I mean, that was the other reasonable possibility for it. It would explain his insistence on saving an singular person from it.
And now you can see why Artorio was so hesitant to trust Shiro Emiya with anything when the two first met a few days ago.
あの男は私に命じて聖杯を破壊させた。聖杯に触れられるのはサーバントだけですから。
But you just said it was in his hands, so he must have been touching it if it was in his hands.
My brain's braining, and I'm not sure if the things my brain's braining are my brain actually figuring things out or the meds fucking with my ability to think straight.
キリツグは最後の霊樹を使って私の手で強制的に聖杯を破壊させたのです。聖杯が失われてはサーバントはこの世にとどまれない。
Okay, explain Goldie then.
Lots of death. That's my explanation for Goldie. Much death. Lots of die.
Kirisugu dick move, Emiya. Yep. He did have a number of dick moves throughout the Fourth Grail War, to be fair.
キリツグも
Kaneth being
私をとどめようとは思わ
the
なかった。
biggest one, probably.
私の記憶はそこまでです。あのアーチャーとの決着も私を裏切ったキリツグを問いただすこともできなかった。
Not like I never thought about it. My old man was a mage. If he lived in this town, he could have been involved in a Grail War. But still.
なんでそれを言わなかったんだ、セイバー。親父が。
通常サーバントというのは以前の記憶など持ちませんし、同じ英霊がサーバントとして召喚されることもない。私はサーバントとしては異例です。ですからこの件に関しては口に出すべきではないと判断したのです。それにシローにはキリツグがどんなマスターだったのかを語るのは気が進まなかった。
気が進まなかったってどうして？
シロー、あなたが私の過去を夢見たように私もあなたの過去を見てしまった。あなたのことにも驚きましたが、キリツグの変わりようも私には信じられなかった。シローの記憶にいるエミやキリツグは立派な人物です。ですが私の記憶にある彼はそのような人物ではなかった。
Saber, he intentionally taught me magic wrong. Yeah, that kind of fits with the Kiritsugu I knew, to be fair.
一言で言ってしまえば彼は典型的な魔術師だった。己が目的にしか興味はなく、阻む者は何であろうと排除する。およそ人間らしい感情など彼には見当たらなかった。私が戦いを通して話しかけられたのは3度だけです。
Presumably, each time giving you a command.
それが何であるかは言うまでもないとは思いますが、残忍というわけではなかったし、殺人鬼というわけでもなかった。けれど彼には情というものが存在しなかった。キリツグが私を道具として扱ったように、彼本人もまた自身を道具としてしか見ていなかった。キリツグはあらゆる感情を殺し、 あらゆる敵を殺した。そこまでして信じたものが何であったのかは私にはわからない。ただその目的であった聖杯を前にして彼らは告白すれば、あの時ほどレイジの存在を呪ったことも、私を裏切った相手を呪ったこともありません。
Boy, that's saying something. Like,
Yeah.
she was angrier at Kiritsugu in that moment than she was at Mordred for ruining everything.
Or Lancelot.
For stealing her wife, yeah. And when you see how fucking bitter Arctoria is towards Mordred in expanded material, and how much of an absolute dickbag she can be to Mordred for no adequately explored reason. Like, that says something about her level of anger with Kiritsugu. There's a truth in Saber's words. No, they must all be true.
No, Fungi. Trayvon's right. If you're using, Pathfinder rules, the Magus class does use high intelligence low whiz.
Magus isn't a real class.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
It's in the advanced class, the advanced player guide, because it's ridiculous to actually play correctly, but
I realize I knew nothing about what Kiritsugu was like before I met him.
also fire. Inu's well aware that it's actually a class in Pathfinder. He just likes riling me up.
It's not, though.
It is.
It's not.
I can hit you over the head with multiple source books that say so.
Tui?
And first edition.
I really don't remember it first edition.
Yeah, it was still a first edition class, but it's in quite a few of the second edition source materials. Yes. It's more or less a half-caster, but
There's no way for me to find out what kind of person he'd been before that, and there was really no need. Even if Kiritsugu Emiya was cold-hearted, it wouldn't change a thing. The man who adopted Shiro Emiya as his son was so much warmer. Probably because of all of the fire around at the time. He was very warm when he, like... It's the only truth about him to me. But what nags at me is... If Kiritsugu truly was so ruthless, then his final moments were just too empty and futile.
そうか。じゃあ俺がセイバーを呼び出せたのもキリツグの息子だったからなのか。
heir, not son.
わかりません。キリツグは正規の手順で私を呼び寄せました。マスターとしての適性が高かったキリツグは歴史のある魔術師の家系に雇われ聖杯戦争に参加した。
What mage family?
「マスターとしての準備はその家系が全て揃えたと言います。
Okay, so a wealthy one.
彼らは 私の遺品をコーンウォールから発掘し、キリツグに委ねて聖杯戦争に臨ませた。キリツグはそれを触媒にして私を召喚したのです。ですからキリツグ本人には私を呼び寄せる因子もなければ属性が近いというわけでもありません。シローが私を引き寄せたのは何か別の力が働いたからでしょう。
Sorry, you don't talk like you don't know what mage family it was. She doesn't. She can't remember.
Bullshit. She remembers everything from the last war.
Those memories are hazy.
Also, Bio, is there a reason you're not naming the mage family?
There's a lot of mage families. I mean, it could have been the Velvets. Or the Almaloys. Or the, Animospheres.
Characters give vague exposition dumps in vague ways.
Could have been the Edelfelts.
Yeah, there are a couple of families you're specifically not naming. And
Well,
the fact that you're specifically not naming them tells me I'm probably on the right track.
well, I mean, I feel like there's some we just don't have to address.
Yes, because you know that's where my brain was already going. Like, obviously, he wasn't given the ability to summon people for the Growl War by...
It would have been funny if Kiritsuga was hired by Luvia's family, yeah. That would have been great.
So, here's what I do know. He wasn't bought off by the Tosakas, because they already chose someone to fight in that war.
Maybe they wanted 2 people.
I don't believe that for a second. Also, the Tosakas spend all their money on gemstones. They wouldn't buy a person. It wasn't the Mato family, because they had someone in the last Growl War too, as I understand it.
Yeah, Shinji's uncle was their master for the previous Growl War. Again, could have had a second one.
It wasn't the priest.
Well, he's not a mage family, he's a priest.
Correct, but he also fought in the Growl War. He wouldn't have paid for a champion. They wouldn't mention him being bought by a mage family, or I should say, it would be very poor writing if they mentioned he was bought off by a mage family and then didn't have it be someone relevant to plot.
Well, the Makiris haven't been introduced yet, but they'll come up in one of the later routes.
Sure, but we're missing the obvious. As far as we know...
The Ryudos.
Yeah. As far as we know, Ilya didn't have any relatives participating in the last war. But they also have a ridiculous amount of money and buy their catalysts.
Not necessarily by
Acquire.
I mean, they got a big-ass rock sword for Herc.
So theoretically, they could have acquired something from Cornwall.
It's not that far from Germany, I guess. Closer to Germany than to Japan.
But see, that also gives me the thing about wanting it to be that family. One would make sense why she was so hell fucking bent on killing Shiro at first and why she hyper fixates on Shiro. Because if Kiritsugu got his hands on the Grail and then betrayed the fuck out of her family, I could 100% see Ilya being royally pissed at the person calling himself Kiritsugu's son. But also, if they basically bribed someone into being a master in the last war, even though they're a seemingly very successful family of mages, why the fuck would they let Ilya do it this time?
Well, why the fuck would they have hired out in the first place is the real question.
Fuck if I know.
Einsburns have been part of, like, every Grail war. Why the hell would they hire out? What benefit does that give them?
I don't know. That's a fair point, Bio. Well, if bribing someone didn't work, why would they do it the next time?
That's a fair point, you know?
Burns can make you her servant level. I probably wasn't meant to read that.
Oh, it's a thing they've been doing for decades.
Okay. But in all fairness, my brain had been leaning that way anyway. Because Ilya's been referred to as a vessel a few times, including but not limited to by Goldie. And that worries me.
We've Apocrypha had a few homunculi in it too. Not Einsburn ones, but it had a few homunculi running around the place. In fact, I think the main character for Apocrypha was actually homunculus.
I mean, I'm assuming that... What are their names? Lysret and...
Sella and Lysret
are also homunculi, probably. But... I don't know. My brain...
Sella and Lysret are maids.
I'm too sick for my brain to be trying to think this much.
You've been around for 5 of these damn wars at this point. Sooner or later, you're gonna run out of tricks to pull, and we have to resort to just fighting in the war yourself. Yeah.
Don't worry, Willow. Everything's sunshine and rainbows. Look at Goldie. He's the kindest of them all. Yet, no, definitely not the kindest. He brutalized my caster.
Well, she didn't kill herself when she should have. Like, that was her own fault. I got it. I'm not that surprised my old man was a master.
But you are surprised to hear he was a douchebag.
What does surprise me is that his servant is the same King Arthur with me now. And one more thing! Jackie! One more thing! Saber said that the Holy Grail was destroyed. Then maybe this war is meaningless to begin with.
わからないな。聖杯がもうないってセイバーは初めから知っていたんだろう。ならどうしてこんな馬鹿げた戦いをする気になったんだよ。
確かに聖杯の有無は私には分かりません。けれど私が呼ばれた以上忘れたのですかシロ。私は聖杯を手に入れるためにサーバントになった。
いやでもじゃあ聖杯ってのは壊れても治ってるものなのか。
Or the Grail War Committee just got a new one.
Presumably, Growls can't be that easy to acquire.
I mean, I'm sitting on 35 of them in Grand Order right now, so...
Phone game universes don't count because I'm betting you can spend real world money to get them.
Nope. Not a thing.
いいえ、聖杯はそう簡単に替えが利くものではない。一度壊れた聖杯が治ることなどないでしょ
う。なら
ですがあるはずです。サーバントは聖杯の磁力に惹かれて現れる。聖杯がなければサーバントは現れない。それはあの神父も語っていたのではありませんか。
神父、そうか、あいつ。
A guy living in the church. The overseer of the Holy Grail War. Shiro, priests don't typically live in the church, buddy. Often close to the church, but not usually in the church. End of the previous war.
As I recall, the rectory of our childhood church was physically connected to the church. So by some definitions, they were the same building.
The whereabouts of the destroyed Holy Grail and how that archer is still around. And yeah, what did Kiritsugu see at the end of the battle that made him want to destroy the Grail?
Ginger ale sounds delightful right now, Fungi. Although...
Flat ginger ale, specifically.
I was about to say, although, even if Inu had a can of ginger ale in his fridge, I'd have to let it sit around for like 2 hours to go completely flat before I'd be allowed to drink it.
I wake up alone. Even if she's recovered, Saber still needs to sleep on occasion. The moment we return to our room, Saber immediately falls asleep. I went to bed as well, if only to make her feel better. The moment we return to our rooms, like Saber steps through the door and just passes out, doesn't even make it to the bed, just right on the ground. That was about an hour ago. It's past midnight. I should be able to get out of the house without Saber or Tosaka noticing at this hour. I sneak outside, trying not to make a sound.
And walk straight into Lancer.
I thought of using the bike, but I'd just run the risk of waking them up. So I walk. Just project a bike. There's not a single person outside. It's late, but the silence is still eerie. The air is frozen, and there doesn't seem to be any sign of life in the buildings. On the other hand, it feels like something dark and sinister is swirling at my feet. Did something happen to the town while Lilia had me prisoner? It's like a bad omen hangs over the entire place.
気のせいじゃないよな。
I look up towards the mountain in the distance. Ryudo Temple, which stands a distance away from town, only looks like a black lump from here. But that! It looks like it's swaying in the night air, rumbling and throbbing. I cross the dark river and walk into Shinto.
からもう10日経ってるのか。
On that day, the night I met Saber for the first time and then walked across this bridge with Tosaka seems so long ago. Saber was wearing a raincoat back then. I see the church. Never been here before. I may have said as much to Tosaka, but I did have a connection with that church. If things had gone differently, I would have ended up under the care of the church and then been adopted by some family later on.
エミヤの家か、あの教会か。思えばとんでもない分かれ道だったんだな。
10 years ago. All the kids in that hospital were orphans, and the church took them all in, at least temporarily. I was the only one in that group of orphans to be adopted from the hospital.
Oh, cynical Willow, please don't be right.
Why?
Well, Goldilocks paired up or teamed up with the priest. And all of the orphans from the hospital went to the church.
I see. You're accusing him for being a Catholic priest, is what you're doing.
No, I'm unfortunately accusing him and Goldilocks of murdering the fuck out of all of the kids to keep Goldilocks alive.
No children were killed. That's probably why I've been unconsciously avoiding the church out of guilt. Like, I felt guilty about the fact that I didn't go there. Or I felt guilty about the fact that other children went there and I didn't. And I just assume that the children are gonna be, like, sitting inside waiting to beat me up.
No, they're definitely dead.
Nah, no dead children.
Really? Name one other child that got adopted out.
Well, they didn't give them any names, so that would be very difficult to do.
No, I'm too cynical and too jaded to think any of those children survived.
It's also why, 11 days ago, I told Tosaka it was my first time going to the church.
Listen,
The lights inside the church are on.
if you're gonna commit murder to keep yourself alive, you gotta murder the people no one will notice are missing. Oh, those orphans? They just got adopted. Adoption records? Yeah, sure, those exist, but I misplaced them. Give me a day or two, I can provide them, I'm sure.
Oh, sorry, they got sent to the Vatican, actually. You're gonna have to inquire with them.
A lot easier for orphans to go missing than to keep accusing people of gas leaks. That's all I'm saying.
I don't really like that priest, but there are things I need to ask him. Kodamine is built as fuck, yeah. Dude, it would be kind of terrifying to just run into just based on how massive his silhouette. Yeah, true story. He's a large man.
さ、行くぞ。
Sa, ikuzo. I take a deep breath and put my hand on the heavy church doors.
And die.
琴峰神父、いるか?
Yorokobe Shonen! I step inside as I call out for him. There's nobody in the chapel. The lights are on, but this vast space is so quiet I find myself more nervous than if it were dark.
誰かいないのか?
It's so quiet despite the organ music. There's no reply.
Well, yeah, obviously you knew they have a player organ. Like a player piano, but bigger and significantly more expensive.
Can't keep going in further, so I might have to give up tonight. I whirl around when I hear a sound from behind me.
エミヤ四郎か。こんな時間に何の用だ。
Yorokobe Shonen, welcome to church. May I take your sins, I mean coat. The suddenness of his appearance leaves me speechless.
夜も更けた。あとは眠るだけだったのだが、その顔では懺悔の真似事でもしたかったと見えるな。エミヤ四郎。
Good evening, may I take your sins?
No, may I take the sins you're pretending to lament?
Right. Kotomine sounds bored and turns back to the door he came through, which was behind you after you came in.
そのあんたに
How
聞き
does
たいことがあってきた。
How does the geometry of this church work?
Don't think about it too much.
そんなことは分かっている。時間外だからといって訪れたものを追い返すことなどせん。
As Kotomine says so, he opens a door to the back of the church.
ついてこい。話といっても聖杯戦争の件だろ。そんな血生臭い話をここでするわけにもいかん。
Yeah, I explained that to her the other day. None of us actually hate Kotomine. We're just very, wary of him and recognize he's kind of a dickbag. Everybody loves the priest. He's just, kind of a jackass.
You guys have all told me the entire time, don't trust the priest.
Don't. That doesn't mean we dislike him. That just means we understand don't trust him. Like, he's especially a dickbag as regards Shiro Emiya in particular, but... Everybody loves Yorokobe, man. Especially once we get to Hollow Ataraxia, the whole Mappo Tofu situation.
That'll make sense eventually.
Kotomine doesn't bother asking my opinion. He just disappears into the back of the church. I've come this far. Can't go home empty-handed. He's kind of a dick, but he's got so much charisma, it's hard not to love him anyway. Yeah, he's the party face who's kind of a jackass, but has like a 22 charisma, and so everybody's his best friend. I steel myself.
So, like, Oath of Douchebaggery Paladin.
Like my bard from Baldur's Gate 3. Determined
No,
not
your
to let
bard tries
Kotomine
to sleep with
intimidate me
everything.
this
I
time,
don't think that's
and
quite
head toward the
Kotomine's
back of the
vibe.
church. Yeah, but she's kind of a dick. To, like...
I
in
do
general.
love that you just kept talking under me talking over you. Excellent siblinging right there.
Look how fucking fancy this church is. Especially for being in goddamn Japan. Natsu tries to sleep with everything that moves. Inu's dumbass bard is in a stable relationship with a nuclear bomb. Yeah.
In all fairness, that is a sibling mind meld right there, because Gale do I romance in Baldur's Gate as well. Who wouldn't want to romance that sexy, sexy nuclear bomb?
The dirges that ripped his arm off instead.
Yeah, well, they're just incorrect.
This must be a courtyard. Is this a courtyard? The garden and the passageway are too magnificent for Kotomine to live here alone. You don't live in a courtyard, Shiro.
話をするのならこちらに来い。
The priest disappears around yet another corner.
った話なんだ。
I'm trying to mentally map this church and failing.
Well, we came in through the front door, and we're standing just inside of it.
When we went
And
through the back door,
then somehow Kodomine came out of a door behind us.
and then took us immediately through a back door in the church.
Right.
So thus far, the entryway to the church is a 5 foot by 5 foot square with doors on presumably every wall.
And also, somehow, there's this courtyard surrounded in masonry.
That's also connected to the room they were originally in.
The Fuyuki Church is a creature of chaos, ever changing in its form. I complain to myself as I chase after Kodomine. The church is a small labyrinth, so I don't have any choice but to follow Kodomine.
We left Saber home so Saber could sleep. And because how are we supposed to get killed if Saber's here? Except for all the other ways we've died with Saber there.
Shiro wanted someone to actually tell him shit for once, and Artoria wasn't doing that. Yeah.
Besides, Artoria refused to come in the church last time he was here, so why would he think she'd come with him now?
Well, maybe because she's not wearing a raincoat this time. Maybe she just has a thing about wearing raincoats to church. We enter a modest stone chamber. The simple room, far from the elegance of that chapel and courtyard, must be Father Kodomine's private room.
もてなすものの一つもないが許せ。
The priest makes his apology as he plops down onto a sofa. I smell the faint aroma of what might be wine. No, it's blood, Shiro. God, uncultured idiot. For the smell to linger in this room, he must really like wine.
どうした？話があるのではなかったか？そこでほうけられていても迷惑だが。
誰もほうけてなんかいない。この部屋が意外だったから驚いていただけで、すぐに用件を済ませて帰る。
How rude to call this guy's room weird.
私も子供に付き合うほど暇ではない。質問は手短にしてもらおう。
The priest really gets on my nerves. I feel like he's reading my mind, and whenever I try to deal with him directly, I just get intimidated.
それで
That's that high charisma stat again.
一応教えられることは全て教えたつもりだが。
嘘つけ。あんたは知ってたはずだ。親父がセイバーのマスターだったこと、最後に聖杯を壊しちまったこと。あんたは聖杯を管理してる監督役なんだからな。
ほう、セイバー自身がそう言ったのか。
ああ、前回の聖杯戦争はそうして終わったって聞いた。
The priest falls silent, contemplating something.
サーバントが前回の記憶を受け継いでいるというのは異常だ。セイバーは故障しているのか、それともあのセイバーそのものが異常なのか。
Kodomine going, Hate to break this to you, your servant's defective.
Yeah, right?
何せよ、通常のサーバントとは言えないな。英霊は記憶など持たない。過去、現在、未来。いかなる時代にも呼び出される連中に記憶があっては矛盾が生じる。奴らにあるものは生前の記録だけだ。死後英霊となってからの出来事は一切記憶されないはずだ。
Oh, well, that makes sense. Saber's not dead yet. He ponders this as if he still isn't convinced. Kodomine doesn't know Saber hasn't fully become a heroic spirit, so he can't truly understand the situation.
それが違うんだ。セイバーは他のサーバントとは事情が違うらしい。
事情が違う？なるほど。わざわざ訪れた要件はそれか。いいだろう。話してみろ。
His haughty attitude pisses me off, but I don't have time to deal with that, too. I don't like it, but this man might be able to give me a clear explanation.
それが、セイバーは死んでないらしいんだ。あいつはまだ英霊になる契約をしていない。死の淵であいつが願ったのが聖杯を手に入れることで、その代償として英霊になることを認め
Don't
た。
tell him about it, Shiro! You trust this guy as far as you can throw him. You cannot throw him very far.
だからあいつはまだ死んだわけじゃないんだ。聖杯を手に入れるまでは死なず、手に入れてしまえ
God damn it,
ば
Shiro.
完全なサーバントになるって言ってた。
This is why Artoria didn't tell you shit at the beginning.
死んでいない。では、セーバーはまだ輪廻の枠にとどまっているということか。他の英霊のように時間から
ああ、そういうことだと思う。遠坂はセイバーは一人で時間に止まっているとも言ってた。
そうか。英霊のようにことが済めば消えるのではなく、聖杯を手に入れるまでは英霊として駆り出されるということか。
Yes, pretty much.
だが、あれは未だ聖杯を手に入れていないため、失敗するたびに死の直前にいる自身に戻ってしまう。そうして前回の記憶を持ったまま、今回も呼び出された。わざわざ死ぬために聖杯を求めるとは、英雄というのはわからんな。そうして手に入れたところで、待っているのはサーバントとして刺激されることだけだろうに。
そうだ。たとえ聖杯を手に入れて、あいつが望みを叶えたところで、あいつは他のサーバントと同じになっちまうんだろう。俺にはそれが納得いかない。そもそもサーバントって何なんだ。英霊を使い魔にするっていうが、セイバーみたいに矛盾した英霊もありえるのか。
さあ、そのあたりのシステムなど知らんよ。魂の永続。その秘宝を真似て作られたのがサーバントシステムだ。こればかりは立案者であった当時の人間しか知るまい。
魂の永続。
いや、もともとはそういうものだっただけという話だ。関係のないことだ。忘れろ。それで意味やしろ。つまるところ、お前はあのセーバーをサーバントではなくしたいというのだな。
Is that what I want? I do think Saber's situation is messed up. Aiming for the Grail is all well and good, but afterwards the only thing that's waiting for her is her disappearance. Even if someone other than King Arthur is chosen as king, and when King Arthur ceases to exist in our history, the hero, King Arthur, will continue to be used by who knows how many others, and that just seems wrong to me. So, if she can stop being a servant and just live a normal life...
She still goes back to the moment she dies, you colossal fucking moron!
それは不可能だ。死者は蘇らない。いかに時間に止まっていようと、私たちにとってセーバーは死んだものだ。彼女を現世に呼び出しているのは聖杯の力であり、彼女が英霊になる交換条件を飲んだからだろう。聖杯を求めない彼女はサーバントとして召喚されることはない。そして聖杯を求める以上、遅かれ早かれ彼女は完全なサーバントになるだろう。たとえ今回が失敗に終わっても、彼女にはチャンスなど無限にある。セイバーは未だ時間軸にとどまっているため、聖杯を手に入れる機会を同時に行えるというわけでもないし、一度失敗した試練をやり直すということもできない。一度失敗した試練は何度やり直そうと失敗する。結果を体験しているからといって決定した結果だが、それでも聖杯を手に入れるのは時間の問題だろう。聖杯を手に入れる機会はこの聖杯戦争だけではない。聖杯に関する試練はあらゆる時代に存在する。その全てをしらみつぶしに続けていけば、いずれそもそも彼女は結果として聖杯を手に入れるからこそ英霊として召喚されているのだ。お前のセーバーをサーバントでなくす方法など、あれがお前の前に現れた時点で存在しまい。
As long as Saber seeks the Grail, there's no way she can avoid becoming a servant. She'll stay like this forever unless she decides to use the Grail for herself. Even if this Grail war ends and there's no need to fight anymore. If she doesn't obtain the Grail, she just has to try again next time. The moment she obtains it, she turns into this so-called heroic spirit and is sent all across time.
じゃあ聖杯を手に入れようが手に入れまいが、あいつはずっとサーバントのままなのか。
いや、そうとは限らんだろう。聖杯が本当に万能の杯であるのなら、セーバーを救うことはできる。
けどあんたはさっきそれは不可能だと。
なあ、セーバーをサーバントでなくすのは不可能だ。だがお前が望んでいるのはセーバーを人としてこの世にとどまらせることだろう。ならばそう難しいことではない。聖杯戦争が終わった後、サーバントを人として生かすこともできる。もっとも死んでしまえば死の直前にいる彼女に戻ることになるが。
それはどうやって？
英霊とサーバントは似て非なるものということだ。 通常英霊として召喚される者には意志などない。連中はただ目的を果たすためだけの道具として召喚され消え去っていく。だがサーバントは別だ。あれは聖杯によって呼び出された本体だからな。それならば世界に留めておくだけで人として生きていこ
そんなことできるのか。前回セイバーは聖杯が壊れた時点で消えたと言っていた。聖杯がなくなってしまえばサーバントは残っていられないんじゃないのか。
う。無論だ。サーバントを呼び出すのは聖杯であり、その後に彼らを維持させるのがマスターの役割だ。だがそれも聖杯がマスターの後押しをしているからでね。本来魔術師一人程度の魔力ではサーバントを維持できない。聖杯という強大な魔力提供源がなければサーバントは消えてしまう。
なるほどな。なら
And I'm assuming he's about to say, explain Goldilocks, because Shiro's a fucking moron.
いや、足りないのなら補えばいいだけの話だろう。サーバントにとって魔力提供など代償行為に過ぎない。連中の本質は魂食いだ。存在濃度が薄れ始めたのなら他人の魂で補充すればよい。
Sweet, delicious soul juice. It's like Kikyo all over again. Is he telling me to attack random people like Shinji did?
No, he's telling you that's how Blondie-Locks has survived for this long.
ふざけるな。そんなことできるものか。大体な、セイバー自身そこまでして残ろうと思ってない。
そうか。ならばあとは聖杯の中身を使うしかあるまい。簡単な話だ。お前が真実セーバーを人として生かしたいのなら聖杯をセーバーに飲ませればいい。
He must have anticipated my resistance. The look on his face tells me that this is the conclusion he wanted me to reach this whole time.
それは聖杯で俺の願いを叶えろってことか。
いや、それはお前の願いとは関係がない。リンから聞かなかったか。サーバントは杯に満ちた水を飲むことによって現世で2度目の生を授けられるのだと。もっともそれはこの時代の使い魔として立場を確立したに過ぎぬがな。肉体は依然サーバントのままだがマスターさえ存命ならばこの世界にとどまれるようになる。
けどそれは。
That's no solution. Even if she were able to stay in this world, it would be pointless if she's still a servant. She wouldn't be able to exist without magical energy from her master, and even if she managed to live in this world for a long time, she'd just go back to the hill after her death. Saber would never agree to such a thing. She doesn't care about a second life. She insists she's going to use the Holy Grail for something else. But then again, does the Grail... Does the key to all of this even still exist in this world?
話は分かった。結局聖杯を手に入れるしかないってことだろう。けど
もう何かね。
聖杯がないのなら戦う理由がない。こんな馬鹿げた殺し合いは無意味だ。
戦う理由はないか。何を今さら。元より君に理由などない。
I don't disagree with you.
He says that. And time seems to just stop. There's no reason to fight. He told me that before. I'd just become a master and I didn't have much of a reason to fight. So at the time, what he said didn't sink in. I just ignored him, thinking he was being sarcastic. But what about now? There's a reason for me to fight. If there's a holy grail, I want to end this war, and if it's possible, I want to give the grail to Saber. There is a reason for me to fight. And a perfectly good one at that. But why? Why do those simple words make me shake so much I feel like I'm about to vomit up everything I've held in for so long?
まあよかろう。今はエミやシローの傷を切開する時ではない。
A voice shatters the stillness that had locked up my thoughts. It's the voice of a man I don't want to hear. But that voice at least settles the wave of nausea I feel creeping up on me.
聖杯はある。もとより聖杯は受け皿に過ぎぬからな。なくなれば、用意した者が新しい聖杯を用意する。
They just got a new one. Not a problem.
用意したものが新しい聖杯を用意するって、聖杯ってそんな簡単に作れるものなのか？
You just head on down to Grails R Us and hand in 2,000 servant coins and they give you a Grail.
器を作るだけならばな。無論、相応の技術が必要となってくるが、もとよりその技術なくして聖杯戦争は成り立たなかった。もともと聖杯とは神の血を受け継いだ杯ではなく、古より伝わる魔法の釜が原型なのだ。
A magical pot passed down since ancient times, otherwise known as a rice cooker.
Or a vessel.
No, rice cooker. Literally a rice cooker. Carnival Phantasm shows a personification of the Holy Grail, and it's actually a sentient rice cooker. True story.
お前も魔術師の端くれならば知っていよう。ユートピア、ギリシャ語でたどり着けない場所という意味を持つそこには、願いを叶える万能の釜があるとされた。
Pot that people fight over for generations because they want their wish granted. Someone could say it's a pot of greed of some sort.
Isn't that a Yu-Gi-Oh card?
What did it do, though?
I don't remember.
Chat, what does pot of greed do? Quick!
I feel like it was a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Somebody link Willow the meme.
You say as if I was probably not already in Discord doing just that.
このあらゆる神話の根底にある万能の釜を再現しようとした魔術師たちがいた。
Pretty sure pot of greed gets you sent to card jail on use.
それがアインツベルン、マキリ、東坂の三家。
Yeah, the Einsburn, the Makiri, and the Tosaka. See, I told you the Makiri were gonna come up.
Okay, great. Changes nothing. Are they who the Tosakas stole their magic, their unique brand of magic from?
No, that was the Edelfelts.
Yeah, well.
They stole that from Luvia's family. Yeah, Reen's family's been doing this shit for a long time.
連中は何代かにわたって万能の釜を再現する儀式を模索し
If,
200
if
年前に
Reen's
それを
family's
完
been
成
fighting
さ
for
せ
the
た
Grail for a long ass time,
Uh-huh.
how the hell are they still alive? Because mage families famously only typically produce one child because, like, otherwise they have to raise their other children as crestless because bullshit mage bureaucracy and supremacy. So how the hell have, like, all of these super old mage families that have been involved with Grail Wars forever not just died out?
Well, we haven't heard anything about the Makiri, have we?
I mean,
The first time they've been mentioned.
fair.
But the Tosakas and the Ironsburns are still hanging around, but you might notice the Tosakas are literally Reen.
And in all fairness,
End of Tosakas.
and in all fairness, the Ironsburns paid people to be in their last Grail War for them,
Also, I think Reen's mom is still alive somewhere,
but not a Tosaka by blood.
correct.
I disagree, Bio. Reen did not have kid before goes off to die.
Well, the Grail War isn't supposed to happen again this fast, is the thing.
Okay, but the point remains.
Yeah, I mean, shit got fucked with the 5th Grail War. Like, Tokiomi had a daughter before his Grail War. You just have your heir before the Grail War, is typically the idea. It's just not supposed to happen 10 years. It's supposed to be like every 50 years, not every 10.
Right, but my point being,
Normally, Reen would have had another 40 years to get that sorted out, yeah.
surely in the history of all the Grail Wars, because you have been very clear a number of times to me that this is the 5th Yuki Grail War, meaning there are other Grail Wars elsewhere in history.
Yeah, but not involving the Ironsburns and the Tosakas. They're exclusively involved with the 5th one, or with the Fuyuki one, rather.
それが1度目の聖杯戦争人工物に過ぎない聖杯に万能の釜を降霊させ
Oh, for fuck's
道を
sake.
開こうとした儀式だった
If we're... I don't like those emojis after the only Tosakas. What the fuck character have we met that's somehow related to Reen that I haven't?
The thing about the Tosakas is it gets complicated in expanded media. Like, I think I told you that in Fate Extra there's a Reen who is not actually Reen, but looks just like Reen, but is blonde and is, like, related to Reen. So it gets complicated, but yeah. She's the only Tosaka that's, like, they might have branch families or something around the place too, but she's, think of it like Neji and Hinata, right? Where, like, Reen is the only one that's, like, considered part of the main family, right? So the other ones don't really count for Tosaka-based things.
アインツベルンそれってイリアの家のことか
That is Ilya's family. Very good, Chiro. You've recognized the last name. Reen's great, infinitely repeating grandpa is still... Oh, yeah! Also, technically speaking, there's this guy who is basically Reen's super far back descendant.
You mean ancestor?
Yes, sorry. I get those backwards sometimes. Wibbly wobbly timey-wimey stuff. And, I mean, he just gets to basically live forever, because access to the root, and...
I was gonna go with capital M magic.
Yeah, Literally a mage. Literally a capital M magic user. Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope do be busted like that.
そうだ。アインツベルンはラインの黄金とやらの伝承に長けていてな。こと聖杯の模造品を作る技術は神業だった。
No, I don't like that. You leave my child alone.
You don't like Rheingold? What's wrong with Rheingold?
I don't like that that Blondie called Ilya a vessel, and that now we're being told that the Einsburns are really, really good at recreating Holy Grail.
Well, I mean, they did make it in the first place, so...
Okay, sure. But remember how at the very start of this series I was joking around about, what's the anime called?
Sword Art Online.
No.
Fushigi Yugi.
No.
Kuroko no Basket.
No!
Free.
No, I'm...
Yuri on Ice. Food Wars.
No, the one where...
Rurouni Kenshin.
Where the pink-haired girl pulls the Utena. And I was joking around about how wouldn't it just be funny if you pull the, if you have heroic spirits that pull their weapons out of their masters or silly shenanigans like that. You know, I didn't think I was gonna end up in a position where I'm like, do they literally just rip the Holy Grail out of a fucking person?
This is not Utena.
No. But clearly, our tiny child is the Grail, which is why her grandfather was so freaking confident she'd get it in the first place. Is because she already fucking is one. God damn it, all mages are assholes!
We have told you this from the very beginning, is that mages are fucking... totally fucked. Yeah, Einsburns. Let's use cursed gold that makes anyone who goes near it insane as the catalyst for a magical artifact. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, we've been telling you all along that mages are fucking awful, as a general rule.
だが、それだけでは聖杯を呼び出すことはできない。
Leave Ilya alone!
ふさわしい土地と強力な呪縛が必要となる。それらを提供したのが遠坂とマキリだ。
Right, so the Einsburns provided the Grail, the Tosakas provided the land, i.e. Fuyuki, and the Makiris provided the spell.
当時、教会と魔術協会は係争の真っ最中だったからな。儀式には教会の目が届かない極東の地が選ばれた。アインツベルンはそれを見越して遠坂を仲間に引き入れたのだろう。遠坂はここ一帯の霊地の持ち主であり、その死はアインツベルンとしては遠坂なくして聖杯召喚は不可能だった。
Just casually dropping that the head of the Tosaka clan at the time was a necromancer. Just casually, like...
だが、二つの家だけでは容
Of course
易
they
に裏
did.
切りが起きてしまう。
Hence why, you know, Ilya had a bit of a bone to pick with Rain.
ことは三すくみにすべきだと考えたのか。遠坂はマキリの家系にもこの話を持ち込んだ。マキリも長い年月を持つ名門でな。こと使い魔に関しては優れた技法を持っていた。サーバントを縛る霊樹を作り上げたのもマキリだ。 そうして連中は聖杯召喚に一致団結したわけだが、いざ成功してみれば残ったのは潰し合いだ。
Right. So the three families come together. They successfully create a Grail, summon a Grail, fill it with magical energy, and then they immediately begin killing the hell out of each other because they want the thing for themselves.
一度目の聖杯の恒例は連中が戦っている間に終わってしまったらしいな。そうして代を重ね、聖杯戦争というルールを作り、形だけは元の協力関係に戻った。東坂はこの土地とサーバントを形作るシステムを提供し、マキリはサーバントを縛る霊樹を提供した。そしてアインツベルンは聖杯が宿る器を用意する。
There's that word again. I don't like it.
それらが彼らの敷いた協力関係というわけだ。
I'm not sure what's so amusing about this, but the priest seems to enjoy telling me about it.
Well, yeah, because he assumes you're intelligent enough to figure out he's telling you that the tiny child in your house is a magic cup somehow. I'm still shaky on how that works, but
I see. They say the Holy Grail War is a ritual, but I didn't know Ilya and Tosaka's families were the ones that created the whole thing. Yeah, 200 years ago.
聖杯を用意したのはアインツベルンだからな。前回キリツグに裏切られた彼らは最強の切り札を投入してきた。おそらくアインツベルンの娘が聖杯を持っているのだろう。
okay, thank you for the confirmation.
Yep, there it is.
I hate it, but thank you.
It still begs the question, like, what did they have to gain from bringing in an outsider, but...
Well, also she wasn't the Grail the last time, presumably, because
Well-
Kiritsugu destroyed the last Grail.
Correct, yes.
Which means that at the time there were two Grails.
No, Ilya was just a child. Ilya was just 8 last time, don't worry about it.
Also, that confirms that Kiritsugu was working for the Einsburns last war.
Right, yeah. Ilya holds the Grail?
Ilya is the Grail, would be more accurate.
That's weird. I don't think I saw anything among her belongings that looked like the Holy Grail.
さて、これで気は済んだか。お前が何を悩むのかは私には知り得ない。だが解決する手段は聖杯のみだ。それが分かったのなら早々に帰るがいい。
Now that you understand that, go home and grab the Grail with your hands.
セーバーもつけずに出歩くのは正気の沙汰ではないぞ。
This man is speaking sense.
余計なお世話だ。まだランサーのマスターが残っていることぐらい。
Hold on. There's one more thing I need to ask.
ことみね、聖杯が消えればサーバントも消える。
Generally, yes.
あんたはそう言ったな。
言ったが、何か問題でも。
What if there was a servant that didn't, though?
終わりだ。何者かは知らないが、8人目のサーバントがいた。セイバーの話じゃ、あいつは前回からずっとこの場に残ってるって話だぞ。
Somebody didn't know his toy went out to play.
I can see he's shocked. Kotomine's eyes go wide.
どういうことだ、ことみね。あんたなら少しはわかると思ってきたんだぞ。
消えなかったサーバントがいるということ、そう不思議ではあるまい。前回の戦いはセーバーが聖杯を破壊することで終わったのだ。つまりセーバーの他にもう一人サーバントは残っていた。セイバーは潔く消えたが、そのサーバントが限界することを望んだのなら話はたやすい。それは魂を食らうことで魔力を補い、この10年間生き続けたのだろう。
そんな
Or
バ
they
カ
did
な
a lot of mana
あいつの気
transfers.
配は異常だった。あんなのが10年間もいたら親父だってあんただって気がつくはずだ。
分かっている。おそらくかくまっている者がいたのだろう。そのサーバントのマスターか、もし
くはなんだよ。
聖杯戦争を知りながらマスターの資格を持ち得なかった魔術師だ。そういった人物には一人心当たりがあるのだが、それもないな。マキリのご老体はとうに隠居してい
Oh,
る。
don't try and pawn your evil off on other people.
Kodomine must be satisfied as he gets up from the sofa.
話はここまでだ。今の話を聞いては監督役として放ってはおけん。そのサーバントに関しては私が調べよう。
Oh, you just
Omae
gave
wa
yourself
nokoru
a green
Lancer
light to
to
kill a
no
mage you
tatakai ni
don't
suru
like,
ga
didn't you?
Kodomine heads to the exit, indicating there's nothing else to discuss. Or get the hell out of my room. There's definitely nothing more to be gained by staying here. I follow Kodomine out of the dark stone room. From there, he leads me to the entrance in silence. God, I know these girl wars always fall apart, but this shit is fucked. I better get on this. I leave the church. And behind me,
聖杯を手に入れればセーバーは死ぬ。その意味が分かっているのだろうな、エミヤシロ。
the priest puts that to me, maybe to make certain I remember.
He looks fun in night lighting. His hair just looks navy blue instead of brown. He's nice.
I like his mullet.
It's not quite a mullet, but it's also not a mullet. Typically, a mullet would be significantly longer in back than it is in the front, though.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like those, like, COVID mullets that everybody had, like, after, like, a year of not being able to get their hair cut.
Well, at least the people who didn't have razors to routinely shave their own heads.
He watches me from the door with a condescending expletive twist to his lips. Saber will die if she obtains the Grail. I don't need anyone to remind me of that. Saber's goal is to obtain the Grail only, but she doesn't want its power for herself. And as long as she obtains the Grail, nothing will bind Saber anymore. She'll be freed from going back to the point right before her death, and she will truly die.
Which is what she wants. But fuck what Saber wants, because I don't want what Saber wants, and clearly I'm correct.
どういう風の吹き回しだ。あんたがそんな忠告をする玉か。
How many command spells do you have left, Shiro?
One.
Well, you better not use it in case you have to make Saber blow up a cup.
なーに。お前がセーバーに肩入れしている様は喜ばしいのでな。私なりの行為として忠告しているのだよ。聖杯を手に入れてしまえばセーバーは消える。彼女と共にいたいのならば聖杯は諦めるべきだろうとな。
それこそ矛盾してる。聖杯がなかったらセイバーをとどめておけない。
聖杯に頼ることはあるまい。 先ほどのサーバントの話もある。セーバーを存命させたいのなら魂を
ふざけるな。そんなことできるもんか。
I glare at the priest.
そ
Gee.
うか。それは残念だ。
My glare has no effect. He just laughs in amusement. Damn it, he must be an electric type. He's immune to
聖
paralysis.
杯の中身に期待するしかないな。お前のサーバントが望まないにしても、レイジを一つ残しておけばそれでいい。お前の望みはそれで。
Yeah, just don't use that last command spell and you can force her to do what you want. He's saying it doesn't matter if Saber doesn't want it. If I'm her master, I just need to force her to drink from the Grail using the power of the command spell.
おや、失言だったか。そう睨むな。あくまで今のは忠告に過ぎん。
I don't know, Konami. Last time someone tried to do one of these streams a kindness, it resulted in self-inflicted total
我
party
々が
kill.
口を出す権利はない。例のサーバントに関しては明日中に調べ上げよう。
Come back tomorrow so I can kill you. I mean, tell you what I've learned.
気が向いたのならもう一度訪れるがいい。
Also, try not to get stabbed by Lancer on your way home. The church doors close. I glance up at the towering church before I turn to leave. I cross the bridge at night. This is the path I once walked with Saber. I was just looking at the scenery, not thinking about anything at the time.
And then we got killed by Berserker, I think.
No, that was on the road. That wasn't on the bridge.
Well, yeah, but it was the walk home, I think.
Yes, I think so.
「聖杯を手に入れればセーバーは死ぬ」。
It's the sad times music.
その意味が分かっているのだろうな、エミヤシロ。
I know. The funny thing is, he was probably being super genuine about asking Shiro to come back if he ever wanted to talk. Dude really does enjoy trolling the shit out of the kid. He does. I don't need him to tell me that. But why is everything so complicated? Saber shouldn't obtain the Grail.
She shouldn't get her only wish.
Correct. But the only thing that can save her is the Grail.
彼女と共にいたいのならば聖杯は諦めるべきだろう。それでも存命させたいのなら彼女に魂を与え続ければいい。
Can't do that. And even if I asked her to do it, she'd refuse. She'd continue to disappear if that were the alternative.
No, she'd
Or
choose to disappear.
Yeah. She will disappear, and then she'll have to do another Grail War all over again.
Yeah, but maybe that time she'll get a master that treats her with some fucking respect.
ならばレイジを一つ残しておけばそれでいい。お前の望みはそれで叶う。
Yeah, but you gotta be really careful with what you use your command spells for, because if you give a super generic command, they can mostly ignore it.
Right. Kodamine's words are poisoned. I can't get rid of them. In a rage, I smash my fist against the nearby rail, desperately hoping to clear my mind. Instead, I break my hand. Damn it! I hear an echoing, metallic clang. There's no other sound. Not so much as a car or another person passing by.
何をその気になってんだ一体
I lean against the rail, grumbling to myself. I know I should just ignore Kotomine. But there's just some sort of power to his words. I can't ignore them. What I do want to do, and what do I want to do, and what am I fighting for? In the beginning, it was stopping the Grail War. But when did that become secondary? Did it happen when I started to stubbornly fight on my own? Did it happen when I realized how helpless I am and started to cooperate with Saber? Or did it happen when I made a sword for her, after our souls entwined that night in the ruins?
Ah, yes, your souls. They're the things that did the entwining.
In this
Well-
version, yes.
Well, pristinely folded shirts.
No.
That's to the
Try
side.
not to think about anything else other than the nicely folded shirt, Shiro. No, that's all nonsense. I don't need to think about it. Since the beginning, my mind's been made up since I met her in the shed. The sight of her, illuminated by the moonlight, that time she was summoned in the same place as last time.
And looked down at another snot-nosed brat, and although if Kiritsugu was working for the Einsbergs,
Yeah.
isn't it possible Saber got summoned the first time in Germany?
No. No, she was summoned at Fuyuki. Literally in this shed. That, remember the magic circle that they talked about being on the ground?
Yeah.
That was her original summoning circle. That would have been fine. Had I not shared that dream of her past and so not known any better, it would have been over without me even noticing. But I did find out. I knew I couldn't leave her alone, and I started to hope I could somehow not lose her. I wish to stay this way. I want to keep seeing her smile.
Ow.
いった
The image of the girl watching the sunset alone on that hill, strewn with swords. My chest hurts whenever I think of that scene.
All of those swords not being owned.
By me! She never took any time for herself. That always bothered me. Kiritsugu always said not to make a girl cry. I much prefer her smiling face to her tears. That's why I was so angry Saber never smiled. But then, when I told her to smile, she always replied that she would rather see me smile. That's like looking at an unreachable star through a telescope.
くそ
I look up at the night sky. I stare up at the star I could never reach. A trickle. I don't know how it formed, but I feel a tear slide down my cheek.
俺
I
あい
fear
つ
a
が好き
tea
だ
slide down my cheek. Aw, look at him admitting things. I say it to nobody. As dense as I may be, I have to at least admit how I feel. At least you got around to it before the person in question was, like, dead. So well done on that. I can't stop this feeling anymore. I realize I've fallen in love with her, so much so that thinking about her can bring me to tears. And then I remember, she's married and has a son.
おかえり。ずいぶんと遅かったわね。
Didn't I tell you to go to the outbuilding and not come back? I hear Tosaka's voice as I arrive. She's standing at the entrance.
父さんか、お前なんで？
玄関で立ち話もなんでしょ。疲れてるみたいだし、こっち来なさいよ。
She grabs my hand and, without waiting for me to reply, drags me down the hall. And she brings me to her room.
はいお茶。外寒かったでしょ。
She's awkward about it, but she's being considerate.
ああ、サンキュー。
Honestly, the hot tea is comforting. And very bitter, god damn it, she got me back. It took me a good hour to walk home from the neighboring town.
Reen would never do that to T.
No, but she would do that to Shiro.
Not at the cost of the tea.
Not her good tea, no, she got some of Shiro's shit tea from the kitchen.
I identify too much with Reen. I think it's probably the fact that she's one of the few, like, video game protagonists I actually enjoy, who I could reasonably cosplay without having to buy wigs.
Hold on. Let me show you the other one. Because that one you need, like, even less wigs for.
Oh yeah, all I need to do for that is straighten my hair, but my eyes aren't brown. At a distance, they look very brown. In my defense.
You see, the thing is, that's Aoko. That's the best girl. That's the one from Mahoyo.
But Reen wears red.
So does she. She has a red bow. Besides, she's the best. Aoko is literally just the best. And also, she is Gun. I mean,
Yeah.
look at that face. She's clearly the greatest.
But Reen's an elementalist, and that's what I play when I play spellcasters.
Yeah, but Aoko just fires lasers out of her hand because she can. Or out of her feet sometimes. She's multi-talented. Plus she can do that. She can spontaneously become a redhead.
So she's Ursula from Little Witch Academia.
Kind of, yeah. Pretty great.
で、綺麗のとこに行ってたの？
Also, Aoko also usually walks around in a red sweater too. Yeah, true story. Yeah, not seeable in that image, but see, she's got like a nice red vest. As usual, she doesn't beat around the bush. Yeah, there's like her normal outfit.
Yeah, but see, all I have to do to cosplay Reen also is pull my hair into...
And dye it.
No, her hair's like slightly darker than mine, but there are some scenes where it also looks about the same coloration as mine. Although yes, Aoko's hair color is slightly closer to my own. But yeah, all I really have to do is I can't get high enough of a pony on this side while holding the other pony. All I really have to do is this with bows.
And grow your hair out substantially. Like, it doesn't come down far enough that way. Like, you gotta somehow get it to go to, like, below your boobs.
I'm not that far off, actually.
Well, when it's also coming, like, up and then going back down, you would be.
Only a few inches.
Right. You have to grow your hair longer. My
You
point
say as
stands.
if I'm not doing that. I don't like cutting my hair. Although my hair is 90% split ends right now, and that's a problem.
I get it. Tosaka must have known what I was going to do from the very beginning. But she didn't stop me. She just waited for me to come home, and now she's even made me tea.
As well as cosplay. Can we get her to dress like the other ring-faced servants? That depends entirely on how much I have to dye my hair.
Well, Ereshkigal you'd have to, but for Ishtar, not so much. But, I don't think you really understand the ask.
Well, I'm sure the outfits are ridiculous, is the issue with the ask, I'd imagine.
See if I can get a good... See, the thing is, the Eresh outfits are not, like, actually a problem. But the Ishtar ones... I mean...
Yeah, not my usual style. Reen's outfit, totally fine. From what I've seen of Aoko, also okay.
Aoko is great. Yeah. Feel like a new man, now that my mind is made up and I appreciate Tosaka's thoughtfulness. Which is probably why I say...
あ、行ってきた。聞きたいことがあったから。
そっか。じゃあ何をしてきたかは聞かない。シロもそれでいいでしょ。
そうだな。それにあんまり身のある話じゃなかった。ただ今の状況を確認しただけだったし。
そう。でも驚いたな。セイバーがまだサーバントになりきってないだなんて。最強のサーバントがその実一番半端なサーバントだったなんて。
You still trying to hype her up as the strongest of all servants feels a bit disingenuous when you just finished dealing with Heracles.
And when Saber herself acknowledged she lost
To just a guy.
Well, and to Blondie in the last war.
Also that. Strongest of all servants, Melusine laughs in the distance. Yeah, also that.
セイバーはサーバントになんてならなければよかったんだ。
She nods in
意外
agreement.
ね。シロとアッチャー、もしかしたら気があったのかもしれないな。あいつもね、シロと同じこと言ってたから。
About Saber
あーちゃんって
specifically, or
あ
like
いつが。
You mean your archer?
そう、アーチャーも言ってたわ。自分は後悔してるから、セイバーにはそうなってほしくないって。
なんであいつがセイバーの心配をするんだよ。あいつセイバーを嫌ってたじゃないか。
そうなんだけどね。やっぱりさ、あいつってセイバーにゆかりの騎士だったんじゃないかな。
only 100?
初め
Slacker,
てセ
get
イバ
that
ーと
thing
戦
up
っ
to
た時、
120.
あいつ明らかに手を抜いてたでしょ。あの時から怪しいと思ってたんだ。
そうなのか。けどセイバーはアーチャーに見覚えはないようだったぞ。
そうなの？けどセイバーは王様だったんでしょ。なら国民を全て把握していたわけでもないし、忘れてることだってあるんじゃない？
Okay, except Archer was wielding a couple of swords from China.
あのな、そういうこと言い出したらそれこそキリがない。顔を見て思い出せないようなやつならそれは知らないってことだと思うけど。
そうでもないわよ。 伝説だとさ、アーサー王の進化には運が悪くてキャメロットを追われた騎士も多いでしょ。あいつが正体を隠していたのは私にじゃなくてセイバーに対してだったって言うんなら割と納得がいくんだけど。
Your nameless heroic spirit that no one had any clue as to the identity of, that uses Chinese swords and has in-depth knowledge of Japanese archery, who also knows saber. Yeah, you know, weird. So Sokka's unusually chatty tonight. It's probably her way of trying to be considerate. Maybe not particularly effective, but Tosaka is a good person. She's usually pretty relentless, but she still lends a helping hand. She's got kind of a big sister thing going on. We drink tea for a few more minutes. Tosaka turns and looks straight at me. Guess she's run out of patience.
で、あなたはどうしたいの、シロ。
とりあえず明日はデートする。
I can't think of anything else. It's a spur of the moment idea I came up with on my way back home. But then! I don't know where the somber mood from earlier went, because Tosaka makes the most bizarre face.
Correct response, Reen. You know, did I ever tell you about about my response the first time at a middle school dance? A guy, for the record, I'd had a crush on at the time, asked me to dance. Have you heard this story?
I think I might have done.
So
Yeah, Bio remembers it, so I'm sure you've told it.
So, like the sensitive soul I was, I assumed he was joking. So I laughed in his face and went, no. And then he looked so crestfallen and walked away. And my friends are looking at me going, Willow, are you dumb? Like, you've been keeping an eye on him all night. He comes over and asks you to dance and you shoot him down. I'm like, I didn't think he was serious.
As these things go, you know.
Yeah.
So what's the plan now, Shiro? I think I'm gonna take Saber on a date tomorrow. Okay, I know I said I didn't want to hear about what you and Kotomine talked about, but I really feel out of the loop.
You know, here's the thing. Most people think I'm nice.
That is a mistake. Don't think that.
Because I present as cheerful, bubbly, and sweet. But as anyone that's watched any of our Sibling Sunday streams for long enough can tell you,
She's a war criminal.
I'm a sadist. There's a difference.
No, there's not much of a difference between a sadist and a war criminal.
No, other people are like, no, you have two sisters. I see through your lies.
Well, people haven't been around in these streams for several years straight.
Yeah, well, listen, there's a reason I identify with Reen, people. It's not just our shared love of tea. It's that, like, that being her response to Shiro going, I'm gonna take her out on a date, is exactly what I do. Where I'm like, well, that's delightfully funny. And now the rest of chat does not struggle at all to see me being Tosaka.
She bursts out into uncontrollable laughter.
ちょっと待って心の準備がすごいってばすっごいわがままぶりよシロ
Damn, I'm so dumb. I should have seen this coming.
うるさい。わがままで悪いか。そんな場合じゃないって分かってるけど。 絶対に邪魔はさせないからな。
違うシロがおかしくて。
Osaka slaps my back hard. She holds her stomach with her other hand, laughing
Yeah,
so
and-
hard now she's nearly in tears.
And resorting to violence with your crush. I've definitely never done that. She flashes back to all the times I used my nails as literal weapons on my crush's arm in high school.
Reminder, we spent like a year and a half playing as an on-again, off-again war criminal who taught literal children how to brutally murder people. Yep, it was great. Mostly on-again, though. I think this is the worst she's ever treated me. It's because you're threatening to go out with another girl.
Oh yeah, jealousy's a bitch. When you're sadistic.
心底笑ったわ。
But look at that face, though.
そりゃよかったな。こっちは全然笑えなかったけど。
デート頑張んなさい。
No,
私
you are
あな
not.
たたちのこと好きよ。
You may be smiling, but inside you are about ready to murder.
Osaka says that kindly, doing a complete about face from a second ago.
Well, yes, because she wants to seem like the compassionate, good friend who's gonna pick up the pieces of your shattered, broken heart when Saber stomps all over it.
Wow, Tosaka, what's got you so worked up over the thought of me taking Saber on a date? Because I've been secretly stalking you for years now. What? What? Stupid high jump kid.
頑張る。
Honestly, that came out of left field. When she says it like that, all I can do is nod. I go back to my room. Saber is still asleep, and the house is peaceful, as if there's nothing happening. And that's a spear through the chest. Suddenly Lancer. It rained today. But what about tomorrow? I look up at the clouds slowly passing overhead. Unlike me as it is, I pray for a sunny day tomorrow.
I look up the clouds slowly passing overhead from where I'm
From
laying.
inside of the
outside,
building. No.
presumably.
He said he went back to his room. There's a ceiling over his head.
Maybe he's got a skylight.
Every year at Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for X-ray eyes. Shiro Emiya.
I wasn't aware Shiro Emiya was our grandfather.
All right. Shiro's got X-ray vision all of a sudden. It's fine. Save the game, yes, and we can save over the most recent save. Because
Yep.
that was also just...
And convenient endpoint.
Convenient timing, yeah. I mean, we're more or less at time.
And considering talking's getting significantly harder for me, that's convenient.
Yeah, for when we sit around and spend 10 minutes doing the whole Zatsu thing before we call stream, as has kind of become weirdly the thing that we do. Please go get a rest. Yes, go get a rest.
No, not go get a rest, go do a rest is what that says.
Let your monsters hang a rest.
I'm sure that's a reference I'm supposed to get, but I don't.
Yeah, it's from Viet Crystal. When,
Oh,
when you go to the Poke Center, it's like you walk in there like, let your monsters hang a rest? Question mark.
so I think I told you that one of the kids in my after school program used a Raspberry Pi device to create a video game emulator to play all of the old school Pokemon games on, right? Well, I keep having to force myself to say nothing about the existence of Viet Crystal, and I want to so badly.
It's the best Pokemon game.
I so badly want to encourage him and the friends that he plays the Pokemon games with during program to play Viet Crystal, but I can't because I have to be a responsible adult.
That is
I-
responsible.
I hate having to be a responsible adult at work sometimes.
No, that is responsible. That's the thing. That is very responsible. Viet Crystal is the best Pokemon game, and they should play it. I mean, I did an entire series where I played the whole thing. You know, it was great. Fucking love Viet Crystal. It is without question my favorite Pokemon. I mean, Gen 2's always been my favorite Gen, but like, Viet Crystal is absolutely my favorite Pokemon game for as janky and weird and fucking out there as it is with Silver declaring himself to be a monster coach, and that his conversation about the trashy man and how our love must become strength. Listen, Silver has some of the best fucking quotes in Viet Crystal. Full stop. Like, dude is a treasure trove of just the best fucking one-liners. And I quote, this is right after Azalea Town, like right after you kick his ass on the way out of Bugsy's place, right? I am very disgusted with the trashy man. In spite of the monster and the coach, only trashy. I will beat down them all. For this I must strengthen myself. The monster is the same too. Collect all the trashy. Righteous fellow are all unpardonable. You don't affect me. The trashy strolling is an eyesore. Also, Silver, after the very first time you fight him, I am a monster. Coach, the first mankind all over the world. Or, in the very first house of the game, when you talk to the fucking refrigerator or the stove or something in your house, it just says, a adept arranging for Mother Volcano Bake Meat.
Sorry.
A adept arranging for Mother Volcano Bake Meat. What's confusing about that? Or anytime somebody remember people call you on your watch, right? Anytime the way most people have their phone calls with you is, I am so unwilling to put down the phone. Goodbye. Oh, also, Silver, get angry as soon as thinking this. Yes, our love must become strength.
I'm breathing hurt.
He's the best. Or there's right after you come through Ilex Forest, right? Just as you come through that little in-between building between Ilex Forest and the route south of Goldenrod, there's a woman that you talk to, and her line of dialogue, I don't remember what it was in the original, but her line of dialogue is, don't worship the devil. There's also a Pidgey NPC. There's just a Pidgey like out in the world that you can talk to. It just says, little strawberry me, baby. Oh, it's great.
I have not played Moemon, to answer the question in chat.
Oh, Moemon is something wonderful, but
Also, Bio says, man, we should play Viet Crystal again at some point. I kind of feel like we should.
should we play Viet Crystal? I mean, listen, I love Viet Crystal. I do. The Viet Crystal is Viet Crystal is why all of my Scizors have been named Nip since I played Viet Crystal. Because that's what Scisor's name was in Viet Crystal. It's just called Nip. So were a bunch of other things, but like, you know, don't worry about. And Rattatas are lap. Wait, no, was Rattata lap or was Pidgey lap? Either Rattata or Pidgey was lap. I think it might have been Rattata. But yeah, Viet Crystal was great. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, how will they know about Nip and Miyu if they don't play Viet Crystal? Exactly, right? Or how are they ever going to know about Pocket or about Huge Ball Bag Fuck?
See, that's why I can't encourage my students to play Via Crystal.
Drug bag fuck.
Yeah, that's why I can't do that.
Yes,
As
you
much as
can.
I wish I could. No,
You can though.
no, I know the parents of that student very well, and they'd kill me. They'd have my head on a pike to our registrar so fast.
Oh, and then if the game crashes, there's a crash screen. Bullet given by Bet Boy, given by Bet Boy can use.
Yeah.
It's like a
See,
crash screen.
see, that's the problem. I can't. As much as I would love to encourage them to play Pokemon Via Crystal, I can't.
Uh,
I wonder if I could get away.
oh, yeah. Team Rocket. This is a guy in the Pokemon Center talking about Team Rocket, right? This was the thing about 3 years ago. The group of Missile Bomb made use of monsters to do evils, but he who is unjust is doomed to destruction. A youth's action dismissed them.
Oh my god.
Also, from the first time you encounter Silver before you even fight him, you had gained manatters from graduate school, but you are so weak. It's a great pity. What do you say me? You don't know. There is nothing to do. I have good monster. What's the matter, I tell you? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it said there's a spirit in the forest. Don't serve the devil. Or Jasmine when you're talking to her on top of the lighthouse. In the side if the sea there is a good drug shop. But I don't leave Xiaodang. Ah, I have a request. Don't you take the drug for me? Wait, you can't throw the butt casually.
Steven.
You
All
can
right.
slide freely everywhere, Willow. Want to buy bike? Go to Miracle Bike Shop. Do it.
We should probably call stream so I can get home and sleep.
Alright, well, just remember, everyone, the burnt tower was burnt off by fire, so, just keep that in mind, alright? Until next week!
We'll catch you guys later.